guys, quick trade review on my KPLT swing trade. I'm just going to give you a couple quick lessons on this trade, something that we actually talked about in my trade group the other day on our live stream. And this lesson came to fruition just beautifully today. It was quite perfect actually. So let's just jump into the trade and just talk about some support and resistance levels. First level that obviously needs to come into play here is this $5.75, $5.72 area from the big gap down. This was on the 10th of August. And then as the stock kind of based and kind of consolidated here, we did get this break through the EMA 8. Which is both a daily and intraday indicator for me, guys. So we got that breakthrough with some really nice volume through that EMA 8, and I think this is the day that caught a lot of traders' attention. Catapult is a subsidiary or partner of Affirm, and Affirm has just been ripping it up lately. So interesting like that it's coinciding very much with the move of Affirm. So that's a little backstory and a little bit of support levels to keep in mind here. The next level up is going to be up at this gap fill here at the $9.48 area. This is it's obviously part of this big gap down, and this also kind of coincides with the 100-day moving average right here. So keeping that in mind, this is the ultimate fill that I'm looking for on this move on the swing trade, is just a gap fill up to this resistance level. I've already taken profit in the after hours. I wasn't really expecting to take two profits, but I wound up doing it. And the reason, I'll jump into it in a sec, but you got to keep in mind with these small caps, this company just filed an S1, which is pending offering. So they could drop an offering at any time. So it's a little risky. You got a little bit of risk on, and that's kind of the name of the game with these types of stocks. So keeping that in mind and kind of in the back of my mind, I really didn't want to hang too much weight in seeing positive follow through the next day. I really just wanted to lock in some gains and really reduce my risk on this trade. What I was ultimately looking for today is that we held above this 50-day moving average, this pink line right here, which we did do. So that gives me some confidence moving in tomorrow that we are going to get some follow through to the upside. Next resistance level, we'll take a look on the intraday, is this $8.08 area, which lines up with this previous pivot lows from back in this is July and August. So this was being acting as a support level, which will then now turn into a resistance level. I do want to see an increase in volume to the upside. If we do not get enough volume, it's going to have a really hard time probably breaking through these $8 area and then eventually getting up to the $9.48. This could take a couple of days. I don't know if this is going to happen right away, but willing to take the chance and the risk to make sure that I can potentially get to this profit target area. So let's jump into the intraday chart here, and I will walk you through what I saw today and what indicators I was using to make this trade a confident trade. First I'm going to do is turn off the after hours, which we will then put on in a bit, but a couple of things to keep in mind in how short psychology or short selling psychology comes into play here on this trade is that on Friday, with the overall markets pulling back pretty major, this stock really had it stalled out at this $6.80 area, which was did act as an area of resistance today for a little bit here at the end of the day, and it just pulled back, and then this follow through continuation on this pullback here all the way down to that 572 support, which was this gap fill here. So I think the shorts were looking to just bring this thing, roll it over, bring it back down to that $4.50, $4.80 level, and ultimately just run this thing into the ground. They didn't get that opportunity. We did bounce really nicely off that level, which was really nice to see. I actually didn't get in here. This nice bounce, good volume increase on the bounce here. So I know a couple traders did wind up looking for an entry here on this right around a VWAP support, which is this area, this $6.20, $6.30 area. I know the head trader in my trading group did wind up getting along, I think, right in front of this resistance level at $6.30 in that area, and then he did get this nice move up. No profit taking yet, because really what we were looking for was first profit take area of around 750. So that being said, I watched this thing consolidate all through lunch, just kind of low volume consolidation, didn't see much happening, and really was looking for an entry as I started to see this wedge pattern form, looking for a break out of the wedge to the upside on an increase in volume, which we did get. So I took an entry on this at $6.70, and then using the $6.40 area as my support slash stop loss area. $6.40 is a level that is kind of an important level. As you can see, on the 9th, this thing just came up and tested it, and it acted as resistance, resistance, resistance. Really had a hard time getting through it because we didn't get any volume increase to push through that resistance level. And then, excuse me, on the following day, on the Friday, came in and tested it and then bounced off it. So I do believe that 640 area is an area of support. But you could let this thing roll down to 575, 570 area if you really wanted to position size yourself for that downside risk. I didn't. I just wanted to keep it a little tighter. So at this point, probably looking at about a 3-to-1 on my risk reward. Ultimately looking for that $9.50 gap fill. So here's where the short psychology comes into play. The shorts tried to push this thing all the way down and break through that 575 level, and they were unsuccessful. Came back, retested VWAP, held. They tried to do it again during lunch, but as you can see, there was just like absolutely no volume or not enough volume to break it down and out of this wedge formation that started to form. So at this point, we did get this pop out of the wedge on increased volume, which is an indication to me that we are going to go to the upside. And the shorts just really, again, tried one more time to bring this thing down and break it down, but were unable to do so. Thinking about that, and if I was a short seller going into the after hours, into the next day, worrying about potential gap up situation, not being able to get this thing to drop back down, maybe using the high of day as my stop loss area, I feel like that would be a little risky, and that would probably force me to want to cover, not wanting to take that risk. And that is exactly what happened in the after hours. We did get that push up and that breakout of that $7 resistance area on an increase in volume, as you can see down here. And we are holding above it in the after hours, which is really nice to see. And we're actually holding above this 50-day moving average right here, this pink line. So for tomorrow, I'm looking for continuation, but let me just jump into my profit takes, because we did hit those profit taking areas that I had set up in my trade plan, and I don't care if it hits it in the after hours or if it hits it in a day or two or an hour or 5 minutes. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to take profit when it gets to that price zone that I want to map out in my trade plan. You always got to trade your plan, guys. Don't get greedy. Don't look for further continuation. If you thought this thing was going to go to 775 and it didn't, you missed some opportunity to take some profit. First profit I took was $7.45, which is right here, as we just extended through that resistance level on the increase in volume. We did bounce off the EMA 8 beautifully and then back up to retest the 775. I didn't anticipate it going through that in the after hour session, although it would have been nice. But barring that, and thinking about the S1 filing that is, an impending offering, I figured, just reduce a little bit more risk, took another 25%. So 25% off the table at $7.55, right as we peaked out here at $7.67. So kind of right in front of this resistance area. The reason I took off a little bit more is because I just don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, guys. And I really just didn't want to risk it. I thought just best to play it safe. I know some other traders are letting it ride through the whole move here in the after hours and didn't take any profit. That's totally fine if that's your strategy and you have a different stop loss area set up. But for me personally, not wanting to take that risk, I figured it was the safe thing to do. So that's what I did. So for tomorrow, what I'm looking for is some continuation. Hopefully we do get a gap up. I'd love to see it gap above 775. That would be ideal, or definitely above and holding above the previous day's highs, which would be today's highs. Want to see this area hold. So 705's got to hold. If not, my final stop loss area, I'll probably take it off at my entry. Maybe let it run down to 640. We'll see what kind of volume comes in. I'm gonna have to play that by ear, but really looking for $7 to hold, and then we get that move up. Don't think this is gonna get to that gap fill around that 950 area tomorrow. It could happen, and if it does, I'm gonna exit the swing trade. But that being said, it's just all about trading your plan and not getting too greedy. And I think I'm gonna wrap it up on that one, guys. I hope you learned a little bit on this one, and stick around for the next one because I've got another review coming tomorrow when I wrap this thing up, hopefully in the next couple of days.